Hi, we've got lesson 113 today. Get your notes out, get them ready to rock and roll. We are interpreting the discriminant. Recap. This is the discriminant of the quadratic formula. So the value that this gives us tells us something about the number of solutions there are, the number of roots, the number of zeros. But first, I'm going to have you guys find the zeros of these two equations. Pause the video. You can use factoring. You can use the quadratic formula. I'll leave it up to you. Go. Okay, if you tried to factor, you saw that you likely couldn't do that. So use the quadratic formula and you have this answer right there. This you are not able to simplify, so I'm going to leave you right there. Here, I'm going to have you factor out the negative. And then to get rid of the negative, divide both sides by a negative, technically -1. And now you have this. So the question now is that factorable? I'll leave it up to you to work on that. Maybe you already tried it. So again, you'll need to use the quadratic formula, but I suggest that you go straight up to the top, the original equation, and use the values there. Okay, now I do need you to reduce this. This becomes 2 root 2, and so now we have -2 over -2 plus or minus 2 root 2 all over -2. From here, break into your two equations, your two solutions. So -2 over -2 plus 2 root 2 over -2. The other is going to be -2 over -2 minus 2 root 2 over -2. Okay, here we go. This right here reduces to +1. That's easy peasy. These right there become minus. These cancel. And there's one of your answers. The other answer is +1. Those become plus. These go away and you're left with, right there, those are your two zeros or your roots for the equation right there. Okay, so we're going to interpret the discriminant. We're going to use the discriminant to determine how many answers there are. I've given you a link to a sheet that I need you to access. So let's plug in the discriminant, just the discriminant only. So b squared minus 4 times a times c. Okay, the value of this is going to be 4. Now take a look at the sheet that I hope that you have access to now. Okay, so the discriminant was 4. And take a look here. It says if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, or in other words, if the discriminant is greater than 0, in other words, if the discriminant is positive, there are 2 roots. So now we know that there are going to be 2 solutions to the quadratic equation. Okay, let's go back here. Tell me how many solutions there are going to be to this equation here, but only use the discriminant. So we've got negative b squared, not negative b, just the discriminant, minus 4 times a times c. Calculate that and you'll see that that yields a 0. So, based on our sheet, if the discriminant is equal to 0, there is 1 root. So only 1 solution, only 1 location, it crosses the x-axis. So, as you know, that will look like this. Where there's only that 1 intersection, the vertex just touches the x-axis. Okay, I need you to go through here and find the number of solutions to these 3 equations. So pause, find them. Okay. So the discriminant of all 3 of those are negative. So referring to your page, if the discriminant is negative, less than 0, then there are no roots or there's no solution. Now I'm going to show you how these look on the graph because I want you to take note of this. This is very close to 0. Relative to this, and so look how close this is to having a solution, and look how far away that is from having a solution. Okay, I've got the 3 functions in, so the calculator will graph y1 first. I want you to watch how close it is to having a root, and then how much further away these others become. So zoom 6. Again, we're looking for it to cross the x-axis. Close. That was a negative 4 discriminant. Then as the next one comes through, you see how it's further away? That's negative 12. And then the final function is really far. That's not even close to having a solution. That was a discriminant of negative 24. So you can see how close or how far this the graph is from touching the x-axis based on its discriminant. Okay, find how many solutions there are, and then tell me what that solution or what those solutions are. Okay, use the discriminant to tell me how many solutions there are on this. Okay, the discriminant was 41, and so that means it's bigger than 0, the discriminant, so there are 2 solutions. Again, tell me how many solutions there are here. So here, the discriminant is 0, which means there's only 1 solution to this equation. So 1 solution. I need you to memorize this. Again, If the discriminant is positive, there's two answers. If the discriminant is 0, there's 1. If the discriminant is negative, there are no solutions. Take a look at this, pause the video, and have your answers ready. Okay, let's see how you did. This question is asking, how long will it take the hook to reach a height of 30 feet? So I'm going to go to the calc. I've plugged this in, and I want to plug in 30 feet right there. It'll show me exactly how high that is for where the hook is being thrown. Let's graph that. Okay, that's the throw of the hook. How high does it go? Well, let's see if it reaches the top of the wall. No. So, the bad guy does not escape. Weak arm. Doesn't make it up to the wall. Okay, tackle lesson 113, A through Z. Again, if you don't have a book, I'll put the questions up here for you. So you can pause the video and work through that. I'm so proud of you guys. I hope to see you soon. Keep up the good work.